Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. I've got some great news today. So if you're a regular on the channel, you know I am always ranting on, I'm always going on about the Sega Saturn and the STV core, and I am always encouraging you guys. I'm like, guys, dabble in the world of unstable. I'm trying to entice you. I'm like that bad guy. I'm saying, guys, dabble in the world of unstable, put on an unstable MiSTer main, the MiSTer operating system, get the latest unstable version of the Sega Saturn core, the STV core, and play and enjoy. Many of you guys did that. You've watched my tutorial videos. Some of you guys are like, no, we don't like to dabble that way. We don't want to do that. Right, I get that, but the good news is here for you. Well, guess what? You can now get it via update tool. That's freaking right, guys. Now, at the time of me shooting this video, I'm not sure if the backend, the archive, has grabbed all the STV ROMs that you need, but the core should definitely update. If it doesn't update straight away, give the updater guys some time. It does take some effort to do the backend. We use the front end where we press a button and it grabs everything for yourself. I haven't had a chance to fully test this, and the reason for that is, man, I've had this stuff on I've had the ROMs, I've had all the required files on my MiSTer FPGA for a long time. But guys, I'm super happy for you because the Sega Saturn is an excellent system. The Sega STV is an excellent system. Now, you may say to yourself, why would you go STV when you have the games on the Saturn? Well, sometimes there's differences. Some games have less input lag or input latency. Some of them load faster because they are loading off a cartridge and not a CD. A game that I recommend you guys try is Die Hard Arcade. It is a brawler. It's a brawler that came out when we were going into the realm of 3D. Now, at the time, I may not have liked it so much, but I definitely feel like this game has aged. It's aged really nicely. Grab a friend, play it with them, play it by yourself, but definitely play it. There's a whole heap of other games. So what we're going to do in this video, in order to celebrate this behemoth update from SRG320, guys, I'll make sure I leave a link to his Patreon in the description of the video. The guy is just a machine when it comes to pumping out cores and doing lots and lots of work. So amazing the stuff that he does. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend you a few of my favorite games on the STV side and on the Sega Saturn side. So guys, before we go further in, hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out. Do it for the old man that's on the phone, and winners don't use drugs, only winners do. Guys, another game I so recommend is the Cotton games. So this one here is Cotton 2. You've also got Cotton Boomerang. Banging soundtrack, what a brilliant game. It might be a bit loud. Let me get that soundtrack down so you can actually hear me, not just me humming a soundtrack. So you've got this on the Sega Saturn, but the STV version is also fantastic. So let's pump in a credit. And so what I'm kind of interested in, so what I did was when I put the STV games on here, I made a folder in my sorry if you can hear my control, I'm kind of playing this and I'm going to be talking as well. So I made a folder within my arcade called STV, and I put all the STV arcade games in there. Hopefully update or pause it like that. Either that or it's just going to be bundled in all your arcade games. So either way, enjoy them, guys. What a fantastic system. And I have to say, there's a difference in the soundtrack between the Sega Saturn, which uses CD soundtrack, and this version of Cotton. Both of them are absolutely fantastic. I said Cotton there, and that's how we speak in London, UK. Cotton. Am I completely wrong? I'm pretty sure it's got different soundtracks. Feel free to correct me, but I feel like this is a game everyone needs to play. It's a genre, it's a shoot 'em up, it's cute, so we call it a cute 'em up, and it's a great game, a great addition to the many games we have on the Sega STV. Next up, guys, I want to look at one of my janky favorites, but yeah, you need to play Cotton, man. Witch, broomstick, fire, magic powers, all the shebang-a-dang. So, you like Golden Axe? Well, you might want to try this out, especially if you like Golden Axe and you like Street Fighter. This is the Street Fighter version of Golden Axe. It's a fighter, it has 6 buttons, it has the control scheme of Street Fighter, even the moves from Street Fighter. We get to pick different characters out of the Golden Axe universe. The main difference between Street Fighter and this game is this game kinda sucks. I mean, I really do try and like it, and I've played it multiple times. I love the graphics, I love the zoom in, zoom out. There's a lot I like about this game. Apart from the playability, it just doesn't sit right. However, I do feel like it's a decent game, and I'd love to play this to play with someone. Sorry guys, I'm not sure if I've got my buttons configured correctly. This guy, look, he can do a fireball, he can do a dragon punch, and you don't even want to know what the hurricane kick is. Let's find the kick button on here. Here we go. Look at his hurricane kick. It is terrible. There you go. I'm just going to spam some moves out. But guys, it isn't the best of games out there. But honestly, I'd say, look, if you're updating STV, try this out. It's available for the Sega Saturn as well, so you can play it on both. But it's an arcade game. It feels like an arcade game. Not a great arcade game, and I've repeated myself a few times, but you know, over the years testing the Sega Saturn called an STV, I've played this multiple times and I've really tried liking it. Love hitting that little dude down there to get my magic potions. But let me know what you guys kind of think of this. You know, is this a banger of a game? Am I missing something here? Was this something you played in the arcade when everyone was playing like different Street Fighter or King of Fighters games? You're like, no, Golden Axe is my jam, this is what we play, this is my circle, this is what we do. So really interested, because I've never met anyone that's like, yeah man, this was my game in the arcade, I was the champion. Or maybe I'll meet someone that said he was a champion, but it turns out he was the only one in the arcade playing that game. But hey, amazing getting this stuff on the STV. It is superb. And here we have Virtua Fighter Kids. So Virtua Fighter, right, when it comes to 3D beat 'em ups, we're talking that Tekken is like checkers and Virtua Fighter is like playing chess. And well, you've got Virtua Fighters, they're kids, they got big heads, but it feels just as complex as the VF games. Now, I recently bought a VF5 Revo, is it? And I was like, you know what, I'm going to play this, I'm going to get good at it. Well, guess what guys, surprise, surprise, I completely suck at the game, man. It's a difficult game to play. I wish if I had more time so I could actually spend some time dedicating to mastering. I've kind of lost my headband there, and the headband is the source of my strength. But is this game worth checking out? Well, yes, of course it is, especially if you've got a friend. You can play it around, laugh at their big heads, laugh at these little VF kids fighting it out, and there's definitely some strategy to it. So if you want to invest some time into this game, you can do some moves. But I can tell you, when I look at move lists and stuff for Virtua Fighter, the moves are just absolutely crazy. It's like, hold these two buttons down together, but release this button on one frame. You know, timing's down to 1/60th of a second, but not timing a combo that way. Press two buttons and release one button at 1/60th of a second. It is crazy. But hey, let's look at one more STV game before we move over to the Sega Saturn system itself. This game here, guys, is a banger of a game. It's called Guardian Force, and it's like a dream come true. I first played this on the Sega Saturn, and I have to say, guys, when I played this on MiSTerFPGA, the Sega Saturn felt better. The Sega Saturn version felt better. What we're playing here is we are playing the Sega STV version here, right? So you've got your turret. One thing I like about this game is you are always shooting up, and you can rotate your turret. Now, I haven't set my buttons up properly, so I don't know where the other turret. Okay, it's up here, right? Okay, so one button will always fire up, the other will always fire around. And guys, play this game. Just make sure you set your buttons up properly. On the Saturn, obviously, the buttons are set up for a console, so once you set your buttons up for one, they're all good. On this one, it's a little bit different. So like, I can rotate the turret here, I can rotate the thing down there, but this really is a great game. It's a shmup with a difference, and it really does show. You know, like you're a tank down here, you've got a rotating turret, you can rotate it clockwise, anti-clockwise. On the Sega Saturn, like the B button is to fire up, A button rotates anti-clockwise, and C rotates clockwise. I'm just doing this video in a rush because guess what, guys, I was actually trying to do a live stream where you guys were joining in to play Mario Kart, but guess what, I planned it for 7 p.m. UK time on a Thursday evening straight after work, and guess what, Nintendo online service was down, YouTube went down, and on Discord, when I was trying to troubleshoot by sending buddies of mine screenshots of the error codes I was getting, I couldn't upload pictures to Discord. So it was a triple whammy. And when I checked down detector, yeah, that red bar was all the way up. But these are 5 games that I'm recommending on the STV that you play. Also got to say that while I was actually giving this information, while I was filming this, the Jesus Fish, a very active and very prominent member of the MiSTer FPGA community, I just saw a message flash up from him saying that via update tool, this isn't quite there yet. So it may not be there. If you update it, you may be having some issues with it. You may be experiencing some issues with it, but hold tight, the guys will get it resolved. The reason I've got everything working to the extent that I've got it working is because I've had the ROMs, games, stuff on here for a long time. So if I've just updated the core to the normal version, I've still got all the prerequisites there. So all you guys just hold tight, do update, keep trying it, and eventually you will get a working version. But yeah, let's move over to the Sega Saturn side and let's have a look at a few games. Not sure if I'll look at 5 exactly, but we will have a look at a few. It might even end up being 5. I've got no idea what I'm doing with this video. I'm just rolling with it. I've had that kind of monster, that's why I feel supercharged, and I'm trying to make up for that Mario Kart stream that just what a diabolical, crazy sham disaster. Okay, so guys, now we are checking Time Bokan series, and I have to say this might be my favorite game on the Sega Saturn, or at least one of my favorite games on this darn device. Now, I am running the latest version of the core, which was released today. So this is a Sega Saturn core that's available via update tool, released on the 12th of June 2025. Now, one thing that's really disappointing here is we don't have the soundtrack for this. We've got the sound effects, but not the soundtrack. And the soundtrack for this game is amazing. Everything about this game is amazing. The playability, the visual style, the art direction, and the soundtrack, absolutely banging. Now, I've got two versions on here. When I say two versions, it's the same game. I still haven't tidied up my micro SD card. I've got the earlier BinQ version, and I didn't get the soundtrack playing. So then what I did was I reset that core, and I thought, let me try it again, and I didn't get the soundtrack. So then I went over to my CHD folder where I've got this game as well. Don't ask me, I need to organize myself a little bit better. This game works, but the soundtrack isn't working, and this game worked perfect last time I played it on an earlier core. So not exactly sure what's going on. Likely it's something that will get rectified. I've probably got like an older version of the core on my MiSTer that I can probably revert to, but hey, you know what, while it's up there at all, it's nice kind of messing about with it. I'm sure we'll get some more unstable versions of the core. I'll update to that. I'm always updating to unstable. Hey, it's kind of like my thing when I do these videos, but do play this game. It's fantastic, and I do hope you get the soundtrack for it. Maybe the error just lies with me, maybe it doesn't, not exactly sure. I can't even remember how. Okay, I need to go in the bottom corner to dodge that. I kind of forgot. Also want to mention, guys, I am using a single SD RAM version of the MiSTer. Want to point out as well that when you update via update tool, it does pull the single SD RAM version of the core. If you have a dual SD RAM MiSTer, then it'll be worth you grabbing the core manually and adding it. So I'm running single because most of you guys, I'd say like 90% of MiSTer owners or more maybe, have a single SD RAM unit, right? It gives us options to play on analog displays simultaneously as digital displays. But yeah, Time Bokan series, can't remember the next part of this game. It's very, very Japanese. You guys definitely want to try out. This game is just charming. It's full of charm. It's fantastic. You need to play it. But let's have a look at some more Saturn games that I recommend, and hopefully the next one we play does have its backing soundtrack. This game now, guys, is Princess Crown. Now, the first time I ran this on the Sega Saturn, it wasn't a translation out, and I had to run the Japanese version, but I just loved watching this intro. It just looks absolutely superb. And the great thing about the Sega Saturn core is it runs translations without issues. You try ROM hacks at it, you try like band translations, they work. And there's been a recent translation of Princess Crown, which from what I understand is fantastic. I haven't got the time to go through it. Maybe when a handheld MiSTer comes out and I can sneak it around with me, maybe I will play this. But in the meantime, if you have the time, maybe you want to check this out. I mean, look how good the graphics look. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the guys that made this went on to do Vanillaware. The graphical style of this game definitely affirms that. But guys, it just looks superb. I mean, look at it. Look at that fighting there. I can just watch this all day. You can turn this into a movie, a cartoon. It just looks absolutely superb. And there's the princess with her crown. You know, the princess the game is named after. So yeah, you want to check this out. Amazing stuff. Sega Saturn, amazing system. And the fact that it's available via update tool, and hopefully by the time you're watching this, it is available. If there are any issues, they've been resolved, and you can enjoy Princess Crown. I was going to say Princess Clown. Princess Crown with all the other awesome games, and just Tony over there raising his staff with his beautiful, magnificent white beard and that sparkly thing, banishing that demon. Can you guess what game this is? This is a game, whenever we talk about MiSTer cores that we want to see, okay, you know what this is now, right? Whenever we talk about what systems you want to see, what games you want to see, you always mention the Taito F3. And one of the games on there is this game here, Elevator Action Returns. Guys, this is a banger. But while we await the Taito System F3, play this on the Sega Saturn. It is superb. I don't have an arcade near me, so I can't test the arcade version of this game, but I'm pretty confident in saying that if it's not arcade perfect, it's very close to being arcade perfect. What a great game. Definitely something you should play on the Sega Saturn. Just feels absolutely great. It feels like you're in an action movie, and it definitely just feels like a great arcade game. Action, pick out 3 characters, go in, go down the building, collect the power-ups, whatever, grab the bomb, blow up the building. There's helicopters helicopters, there's buildings, there's different enemies in there. The game is just amazing. It's a massive jump up from the original elevator action, which I know is a decent game. That's on the Taito System SJ. Big shout out to Anton Gale for bringing that over to MiSTer and the Analog Pocket. But hey, we really do like the sequel. The original elevator action was a little bit before my time. This is more my era. And I mean, just look at that. 2 players running down the elevator. Elevators have never ever been so much fun. This is the type of elevator music that I want to hear. Launch a grenade, fire a pistol, grab a machine gun, but most of all, just play this game, man. It is superb. Another game that I strongly recommend is this one here. This is Virtua Cop 2. You've got light gun games on here now. The MiSTer now has Sinden light gun support. That's what I've tried it with, and I'm pretty sure you can play this with an original Saturn light gun. If you can't, let me know in the comments. I just don't have one to test out. But yes, I've tried the Sega Saturn core with the Sinden light gun, and it works really well. So I feel like it's worth giving that a mention. If you've got a Sinden light gun, connect it up, play it. It works really well. It's very accurate once you get it set up and going. It just works really well. If not, play it with a controller. I have to say, the Sega Saturn light gun games, right? House of the Dead is a little bit harder, but I feel like the Virtua Cop games are actually very playable, even on like the Saturn D-pad. Naturally, I'm using a M30 controller, which is a very good controller to use with the Saturn core. Can't recommend it enough. But yeah, Virtua Cop 2 spells that arcade experience. Look at that police car racing down, jump out, get your guns out, and brap shoot those bad guys. So I've never been much of a rally fan. I remember playing like Sega Rally on the Dreamcast and I was like, I hate this game. So when I started messing around with the Sega Saturn core, what was it, a while ago now, when I played Sega Rally, I absolutely loved it, guys. It just feels like a dream. I'm gonna do badly here, I'm tired, but you know what? The controls just work for this game, and this is a game I strongly recommend. It is just so good. Just play it. The controls just feel darn right. So guys, that's it. Let's celebrate the Sega STV and the latest version of the Sega Saturn core hitting up their tool. Now remember what I said, guys, if it's not there immediately, give it some time. The reason that I've got everything here, I've got the latest version of the core, the one that's available via up their tool, but all the assets that go with it, all the ROMs that go with the STV side, I've had them on my MiSTer for some time because I do like to dabble in the world of unstable. But all of you guys that don't like taking risks, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know, update all is there to make our life easy, and if that's how you like getting your games, cool, grab it. If it just doesn't work straight out of the bat, just give it a little bit of time. And any game with a helicopter, a hot air balloon, a zeppelin, or an aeroplane is always good in my book. So guys, gonna wrap the video up here. Let's see if we can kind of start the second race as I kind of do like my outro part here. But yeah, Sega Saturn, absolutely superb, guys. Be freaking awesome to one another. Go and enjoy the Sega Saturn and the STV. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.